Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to a video that's honestly one of my favorite videos to make every single year. We start over in MLB pretty much with the rosters we got right now, and we just do an MLB draft, start completely over, and see how it's going to end up working out. So we're going to jump into it. What team I pick doesn't actually matter. I've been doing this video since like MLB 16 every year on my main channel, Gyvi World. And it's always one of my favorite videos because it's really fun. We just turn off fantasy draft on. Everything else can be turned on, but you know what? We'll leave everything else the way it is. And basically, it's actually kind of fun because the teams are a little bit more balanced. Some stars that wouldn't be in some certain cities end up playing where you don't expect them to. We probably got pick 20, so that's not good, but it's Serpentine, so maybe that helps us a little bit. So let's go ahead and see how we start off. We're going to do a couple rounds and see where we end up. Obviously, it don't matter what team I pick, but being a Yankee, let's take a look at who's available. Do we pick 35-year-old Max Scherzer? It's only 1 year, but starting pitchers who are getting old, they'll sit there for a little while. We got Trevor Story as an option. Not the best options for a first round. Giancarlo Stanton, Story, Chris Bryant, Gallo. That's interesting. I kind of like it. Or DJ LeMahieu and just throw him anything he wants. I'm kind of feeling Trevor Story. I'm going to go with Trevor Story for our first pick. Why? Because we saw Tulowitzki at the end of his career a Yankee. I would love to see Trevor Story a Yankee someday. I don't know who our future shortstop is. Hopefully it is Lindor. In round 2, we got pick 11. Eugenio Suarez, Freddie Freeman, DJ LeMahieu still there. He's 31, so he may sit there for a little while. JT Realmuto behind the dish. That wouldn't be bad at all. We'll probably do like maybe 10 rounds of the draft, and then we'll auto sim after that. We're already moving to round 3. I'll go pretty quick through it, but we got pick 20. All right, you know what? I kind of wish I could start over with pick 1, and it is fantasy, so I do have the right to do that. 34 years old, Josh Donaldson, Morton Hendricks, no pitchers. We already got a catcher. Aroldis Chapman, that's not bad. Trevor Bauer, Max Muncy, that's solid. But I feel like we need a starting pitcher here. No, Kirby Yates is 33. JD is 32. Goldie Donaldson. Oh, this is so tough. I'm going to go with JD Martinez. We'll go pitcher next round since we have pick 11 in round 4. And we'll take a look at all the rosters and see more or less what they end up looking like. Donaldson at third. We could use a third baseman. Corey Kluber, Morton. 100-mile Giles is only 29. That's not bad. Or Aroldis. You know what? We might go Donaldson. That's risking it. You know what? He's not going to be there next round. I know that. So Justin Turner's still there. So I mean that's an option. I'm going to go with Ken Giles as our closer. Get a good closer in there. You do in these franchise simulation. You're going to need a closer who can shut it down. It's going to be actually very important. And as I figured, Justin Turner was going to still be there. Starling Marte or George Springer in center. That's interesting. I kind of like that. I'm going to take George Springer in center. Only 30 years old, a little younger. And if Turner's still there, nope, he just went to Detroit. Never mind. Pick 11, Eduardo Escobar at third. Kenley Jansen, Starling Marte. Howie Kendrick is 36. No, thank you. Carlos Santana. You know what? Let's just do it. Eduardo Escobar, solid third baseman, can play all over the infield. Pretty good. And we're already in pick 7. So 4 more picks. And then we'll keep going. I don't think we have a starter yet, but a bunch of 80 starters is enough to get you through. So we're going to simulate, see how everything goes, how the league looks. Let's go Hyun-Jin Ryu as our ace. Not bad. There's already 70s being taken off the board. With a bunch of 80s, because they're not picking up any of these old guys. And James Paxton, not bad for 31. It's not a bad idea. Seth Luco, Dan Winkler, Ryan Presley. I do like this Dan Winkler pickup in the bullpen. So low-key might do that if Paxton is still there, which I'm hoping he is. So far looks good. We're gonna go ahead and pick up Paxton. With this pick, 31 years old, or Lance Lynn. I'm gonna go Paxton. Keep him a Yankee. That'll be the only Yankee we've drafted so far. So that's good. And then the last pick, we'll go ahead here and one more pick. We could pick up Lance Lynn, and that'll be the majority of our rotation right there. Not bad at all, actually. Yeah, let's do it. Let's go ahead and take Lance Lynn, and we'll simulate the rest. Not that it really matters. And hopefully we end up with a really solid team. We'll keep everything on auto since we're gonna simulate through a lot of this. Let's take a look at what the MLB looks like if it all started over today. I think that's always fun. I'm gonna be honest, it'd be cool if the MLB one day this is really stupid from a baseball fan perspective, but if the MLB was like, all right, in the year 2030, everyone's a free agent. So you can't be signed past 2030. We're just drafting all over. How freaking cool would that be? All right, so let's take a look at our team. We ended up with Story, Ramuto Martinez. You already saw our who we drafted. Of course, the CPU go ahead and drafts a guy who's 37 years old, and Edwin Winkler, Paxton, Kyle Seager. I like it. Backup third baseman. You could probably play second. Cole Hamels, Brian Dozier. Okay, so too many infielders. Dozier, Ryan Zimmerman, Anthony Bass. Not bad. Let's take a look at the other teams. Chris Sale ends up a Rays with Yordan Alvarez, Simmons, and Robinson Chirinos. Blue Jays got Walker Buehler. That's solid. Taylor Rogers, Marte, Anaberto Mondesi, and Kenta Maeda. Locane as well. White Sox, Javi Baez on the other side of Chicago. That's south side Chicago, if I'm not mistaken, right? You love to see it. Eugenio Suarez, oh, that's a solid. Oh, that's actually disgusting with Max Muncy. And a 39-year-old who plays like he hits like he's 25. That's crazy. Zach Wheeler, Corey Dickerson, Michael Givens. White Sox, so far, it looks like they'll be a difficult team. Max Scherzer ends up in Cleveland with Stanton, who I'm going to be honest, I could see him in Cleveland in real life. Gonna be a sad day. VR and Carlos Santana stays in Cleveland. Xander Bogaerts with David Robertson and Salvi. Not bad. Detroit Tigers may actually compete, but still not looking all that great. Turner, Eddie Rosario, Will Smith, Carlos Correa, Fletcher, Victor Robles, and Yanni Chirinos. Not bad. On the Royals, we got Will Harris, Kyle Hendricks, Pete Alonso, Starlin Castro. It's a solid team, but no crazy players there. Joey Gallo ends up in Minnesota. I kind of wanted him, but ended up passing. Goldie Ramos, Flaherty, Marte Gallen. Mookie Betts, 98 overall, is an Anaheim Angel, other side of Los Angeles. Ramon Laureano, Buster Posey, Eduardo Rodriguez, Jake Odorizzi, Tanaka. So there's some starting pitcher. And Garrett Richards. There's actually starting pitchers on the Angels. Who knows? Do they actually make the playoffs? It's possible. We'll see where Mike Trout is. Garrett Cole ends up in Oakland. Kirby Yates, Manny Machado, and Dylan Betances with Hunter Renfroe. Not bad. Not bad at all. Ronald Acuna ends up in Seattle with Steven Strasburg, Peralta, Seth Lugo, Jose Abreu, Gio Urshela. Okay, Jorge Soler and Luis Castillo. The Seattle Mariners may also make the playoffs for once. Aaron Judge ends up in Texas with Olsen, Sano Blazovic, Jesus Aguilar, and Scott Kingery. Not terrible. Not too great if I'm being honest. And Jacob deGrom in Houston. Okay, with Merrifield, Ryan Presley, Josh Hader, Kepler Votto. I don't think Houston's a team. Let me know down below who you guys think is going to be the contenders and who's going to be the pretenders. Nolan Arenado, 99. So they had an early pick and then didn't pick for a while, but they did end up with Ozuna, second pick. Paddock, Darvish, Minor, and Byron Buxton. So, I mean, they got a great player in Arenado and Ozuna, but after that, it kind of falls off a little bit. Mike Trout ends up in Miami. Marlins fans, could you imagine Mike Trout and Noco Floridian, Trey Turner, and shortstop, and McCutcheon's he's from Florida as well. That's what I thought. So they're part of my Florida team build right there. That's why I had a feeling. Wilson Contreras, Robbie Cano. It's solid. You got Mike Trout. You always have a chance, unless it's real life and you're on the Anaheim Angels, and you don't have a chance. You really don't. The Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim, whatever they're called, they change their name all the time. Washington Nationals got Charlie Morton, Tommy Pham, Syndergaard, Kevin Kiermaier, Tatis. How's he only an 84 is beyond me. I'm gonna need a buff to his fielding. I'm gonna need a buff to his stealing. A lot of buff to his stealing. Okay, if I'm being honest, and his hitting could be a little bit better. So Anthony Dominguez and Nico Goodrum, a solid team. Not too bad here in Washington. Nicely balanced. Anthony Rendon ends up in New York on the Mets. Clayton Kershaw and Zach Greinke. So some good pitching here. Good couple of 30-year-old pitchers with Brad Hand as a closer and DeJong. The New York Mets may be relevant, ladies and gentlemen. Don't quote me, but you can quote me. Third baseman, Evan Longoria. Ramil Reyes. Okay, this team looks good. I like this team, the way they're built. Herman Marquez, Yusmeiro Petit. I like this team. Okay, so keep a lookout for the Mets. Matt Chapman, Third base with DJ LeMahieu, Kenley, Simeon, Canley, Segura Conforto. Not a bad team. Andrew Benintendi, a potential. Let's see if he actually goes up from an 80 overall. I'm curious. We'll see at the end of this build if he goes up at all. Chicago Cubs, Bregman, McNeil, Severino, Bumgarner. I think any team with Bumgarner has the potential to win, but he sucks. He's only 30 years old. I did not know that about Madison Bumgarner. Okay, I take back what he said. He's an amazing player. He's just an awful person. He's just really a crybaby, and I hate him. Nick Anderson, Matthew Boyd, Enrique Hernandez, Eduardo Ramos. Solid team here in Chicago. I believe that's the north side. I could be wrong. I've never been to US Cellular or whatever that field is called. Guaranteed rate. It changes all the damn time. But I've been to Wrigley a couple times. Roberto Osuna, Joaquim Soria. I honestly thought that was Trevor Bauer. It confused me for a second. I don't know why. Colton Wong, Michael Brantley, Yohan Moncada. This is a solid team here. Not bad. Elvis Andrews. Maybe not. Maybe not. We'll see. Justin Verlander in Milwaukee. Albies, Bauer, Workman, Ahmed, Giolito, Lester. Not terrible, not great. Jose Ramirez, Bieber, Castellano, Charlie Blackmon. There's some offense on this team right here. And some pitching. Good starting pitching. Good closer. Hicks, good starting pitching. More decent relievers. Okay, Pittsburgh Pirates may be relevant, ladies and gentlemen. Chris Bryant in St. Louis with Blake Snell, Hendricks, Gray, Price. Solid stuff. Good starting pitching as well. All right, so we got Christian Yelich, Freddie Freeman, and Mike Clevenger all on the same team. But then after that, kind of drops off, but still really solid stuff here. That's what I love about this. It's somewhat balanced, and you never know who's going to win, what teams are going to be really, really good. Cody Bellinger and Gary Sanchez on the same team. Corbin, Schwarber, Polanco, not bad there. Jose Altuve in Los Angeles, ladies and gentlemen. Aaron Nola with Aroldis Chapman, Josh Bell, Sean Manaea, Adam Frazier. It's an alright team. It's not crazy. This is probably one of the lowest overalls. Actually, no, it's kind of balanced. Francisco Lindor, Dahl, Kendrick, Julio Urias, Cueto, Zunino. I'm going to say the San Diego Padres went back to the San Diego Padres. They're not winning. In San Francisco, you got Glaber, Grandal, Devers, Doolittle, Darren O'Day, Woodruff, Yarbrough. Decent stuff. Bryce Harper goes to Baltimore. That'll never happen. Corey Kluber, Avisail, Brian Anderson, Brandon Morrow, Jose Barrios, and Luke Voigt. Decent stuff. Red Sox get Josh Donaldson, Juan Soto. Okay. Brandon Lowe, Andrew Miller, Austin Meadow. Not bad. Marco Gonzalez and Romine, McCann, Strope. Okay, not terrible. And that's going to be the last team. So we see what everything looks like. We got our team. Kind of curious what our lineup looks like. Story, Springer, Martinez, Edwin at first. JT Realmuto, Eduardo Escobar, Piscotty, and Kyle Seager with Dozier at second. It's not terrible. Our rotation, Rio, Paxton, Lynn, Hamill, and then a 67 overall. Do we not have a better one? We just need one better starter. And I bet you if I look at the free agents, there's probably one guy we could pick up who's better than a 67. So where are the free agents? Starting pitcher. We could pick up Wino and put him in there and probably do a little bit better. Or Irvin Santana even, who's 37. Look, 20. Then it falls off quickly. Never mind. These are the only 370s right there. But we're going to leave it as is. We'll go ahead and simulate through an entire season. See what everything ends up looking like and who ends up dominating and having a good season. Okay, I need to stop real quick. I was just going to simulate. We started off 21-3. What? Oh my God, 21-3. I'm just going to keep simulating. Hey, there's our first big trade. The Yankees acquired Kenley Jansen for James Paxton. No idea why they did that. I feel like we needed a starting pitcher. We had a decent closer. I feel like we need to trade our other closer now for a starting pitcher. Why? Well, ladies and gentlemen, I thought that move was gonna hurt us. We end up winning 113 and losing less than 50 games. That's crazy. We win the division, and let's take a look at everything. So, Yankees win 113, Blue Jays 83, Rays and Red Sox 78 with the Orioles 76. Not bad at all. Indians are 100-game winners with the Twins also in the playoffs. White Sox, Royals, Tigers all eliminated. The Angels, ladies and gentlemen, are in the playoffs. I told you, take a look. Keep your eye on the Angels. I had a feeling this was going to be a year they make the playoff. 91 games, The Rangers also win 87. Astros eliminated. I told you the Astros were not going to make it. Mariners, I'm sorry. It's not even in a video game. Is it meant to happen? It's just unfortunate. 71 wins. That's not good at all. So the Twins and Rangers end up with wild card. Let's take a look at the National League. The Marlins, 3 teams in the NL East. Crazy. Marlins, I told you. Marlins had a shot. They had Mike Trout. Just get him out of there, and he's going to get you into the playoffs. Wild card teams, the Mets. I said the Mets look good too. Phillies are the other wild card team. So the Pirates win the Central. No other team gets out of there. And the Rockies end up winning the West with no team getting out of there. Let's take a look at the league leaders, ladies and gentlemen. George Springer. That was a good call. He on base percentage and WAR. Okay. MLB league leader in saves is Kenley Jensen. Okay, so that was a good trade. So here are the league leaders. Tim Anderson wins another batting title, batting .331. We'll take a look at the top 10 as well. We'll look at the National League. It's Anthony Rendon with Mike Trout right behind him. Not bad in hits. Mike Trout led with Tim Anderson. Good stuff. Let's take a look at doubles. Tim Anderson leads with Mike Trout again. Home runs, Josh Bell with 43 home runs. American League, Giancarlo with 55. Juan Soto right behind him. RBIs, Giancarlo Stanton and Mike Trout. Let's take a look at stolen bases. Trey Turner with 44 and Jonathan VR with 58. In all these simulations, VR steals a ton of bases. 81-80, I get it. All right, it's decent, but I feel like VR's starting to get... He's only 28. I don't know why I feel like he's been in the league for 20 years. He's only 28. D. Gordon does not steal like this anymore. Let's chill it. Base on balls, we don't care about that. Let's look at the OPS. George Springer led the league with JD Martinez in 8 for us. Juan Soto right behind him. In the National League, Mike Trout leads. That's expected. Rendon, Yelich right behind him with Josh Bell. Let's take a look at pitchers. Hyun-Jin Ryu, which I drafted. And we traded away. Ends up winning 21 games. That kind of, I'm salty about that. We lost Hyun-Jin Ryu, but that's fine. We had Cole Hamels who won 18. That's pretty solid. Max Scherzer with 20 wins. Not too bad. Scherzer, 4 losses. Cole Hamels only 6. A fantastic year. Pretty good. 3.58, 18-6. Good stuff. 186 innings. We take that. That's shoving. Jeff Samardzija only had 5 in the National League. Saves, Liam Hendricks had 48. And, of course, Kenley Jensen came over via trade. And he ends up leading the league with 52 saves. ERA, DeGrom with Homer Bailey right behind him. Didn't even know we had him. Not bad. The National League, Jeff Samardzija led there. Shutouts, Madison Bumgarner and Matt Scherzer leading. Strikeouts, 263. Scherzer, DeGrom, Cole. Stop me if you've heard that before. With Blake Snell in the other league, with Bieber and Nola. Clayton Kershaw, Matt Bum, Verlander. Guys you expect at the top of these lists just absolutely shoved. So many 200 strikeout throwers. We lost James Paxton, but that's okay. Looked like we had a pretty good season without him. We'll take a look at WAR leaders. Jacob DeGrom and Max Scherzer, Masahiro Tanaka, top 3 in the American League. National League, it's Bieber, Kershaw, and Bumgarner. So who was our highest pitching WAR guy? It's Homer Bailey with 4.1. That's pretty solid. We take that. Batting WAR, George Springer led the league with 8.7. Mike Trout had a 10 WAR. Another one that's not even surprising at all. Trey Turner and Mike Trout would make a heck of an outfield. I don't know if Turner would be middle infield, but yeah, he played shortstop. But I can see, Trey Turner obviously can play outfield as well. Anyone else? We had Trevor Story with 7.5. Look like he had a solid year with 40 home runs, 100 RBIs. We take that. That's probably what propelled our offense between Trevor Story and George Springer. You need a good up the middle team, up the middle. That's why I look right up the middle, center field, shortstop. That's what you need in baseball. A good catcher, shortstop, and center fielder, and you'll dominate for many, many years. So good stuff. That's everyone. Let's take a look at awards. See what awards we won. George Springer wins the Hank Aaron. Trevor Story wins Gold Glove. And Kenley Jensen, reliever of the year. So we'll look at the American League first. Giancarlo Stanton, 302 with 55, 134 RBIs. Not too shabby. We'll stay in the American League. Cy Young, Max Scherzer, DeGrom right behind him. Tim Anderson, batting title. Kenley Jensen, reliever of the year. Alec Boehm, rookie of the year. George Springer, Hank Aaron, James. All right, so we'll go quickly through the Gold Gloves. James Talon, James McCann, Gerald Bart, Colton Wong, Brian Anderson, Trevor Story, Juan Soto, Chris Taylor, and Mookie Betts. Silver Sluggers for DH is Nelson Cruz, Garver, Goldie, Castro, Suarez, Story, Stanton, and Soto, Springer, and we don't have postseason stuff yet. So let's take a look at the National League MVP, Mike Trout, ladies and gentlemen. Surprise, surprise. Cy Young is Ryu. Batting title, Rendon. Reliever of the year is Liam Hendricks. Rookie of the year, Sandy Donald. Hank Aaron Award, Trout, Samardzija Gold Glove, Flowers, Murphy, Cano, Arenado, Willie Adames, Tommy Pham. I feel like Adames' fielding is not high enough, 77, and he won a Gold Glove. I'm just saying, I feel like my boy Willie's getting snubbed with his fielding in this game. Tommy Pham, Kevin Kiermaier, and Nick Markakis. Silver Sluggers are Brendan McKay, Wilson Contreras, Josh Bell, Ozzy Albies, Anthony Rendon, Fernando Tatis, Mike Trout, of course, Franmil Reyes, and Andrew McCutchen. All right, so we head to the postseason. We look like the best team in baseball so far. So let's see. This is what we got. We got Texas versus Minnesota in the wild card. Looks like Cleveland, Los Angeles, winner of Texas and Minnesota versus New York. So that's who our team will face. Not that it really matters. On the other side, we got the New York Mets and Philly. The winner of that game will play against Miami. And on the other side, we got Pitt and Colorado. I told you Pittsburgh was finally going to see the playoffs. I was right on almost all of them except for Seattle. All right, let's go ahead and sim through. I think we'll probably have to sim through September to see who wins both wild card games. So we'll sim through September, and here we are. We got October baseball versus Minnesota. So Minnesota ends up taking that wild card game, and on the other side, Philadelphia ends up taking their wild card game versus the Mets. So let's go, baby. Game 1, we got Dan Winkler versus Zach Gallen. We'll sim through that. We take a 5-7 loss. Bullpen didn't do its job. Yusmeiro Petit takes the loss. Game 2 is another loss. No, we're going to get swept. We're going to take a quick 3-game sweep. We got Homer Bailey versus Jose Lopez. And oh my God, we went from the best team in baseball, one of the best teams put together, and then we end up getting swept by the Twins. That's not realistic. The Yankees destroyed the Twins, but that's okay. Let's go ahead and simulate the rest of the playoff. Who's in it? We'll follow Minnesota, I guess. So let's find Minnesota. I went the wrong way. Wait, or did I just pass them? Where the heck is Minnesota Twins? Am I blind? There we go. Minnesota Twins to be determined. We'll sim through and we'll find out who's left. So Minnesota 3-0s us. Los Angeles 3-1s Cleveland. And the other side, Pitt 3-0 Colorado. And they're up 1-0 already. Philadelphia 3-1 to Miami. Unfortunate. Let's jump into it. We got, we'll simulate this whole series, sim through date, and see where it's at. Ladies and gentlemen, Minnesota Twins moving on. Okay, Minnesota Twin in 7 games beat Los Angeles. Philadelphia beat Pitt in 6, so a battle for Pennsylvania. And now we got Minnesota versus Philadelphia. I don't think you'll ever see this in a World Series. I'm just saying, I don't think you're going to ever see this. And if you do, no one's going to watch that. I'm sorry, ratings would not be great. So, Game 1, Freddie Peralta versus James Paxton, who we traded away. I'm so angry about that. We'll sim through Game 1. We take a 6-1 loss. James Paxton dealt 2.19 ERA in the playoffs so far. Game 2, Jose Lopez versus Adrian Hauser. We'll sim through that as well. We're down 2-0. Not that we're Minnesota, but they're down 2-0. We head to Game 3, Jack Flaherty versus Marcus Walden. Sim through that. There we go. We take a game, and we're down 2-1. Game 4, Zach Gallen versus Devin Smeltzer. We'll sim through that. There's another loss. We're 1 game away from losing the World Series to Philadelphia. And it's Daniel McGrath versus Cole Stewart. We'll sim. We'll take a win. Game 6, Freddie Peralta, James Paxton. That's not a good matchup. We'll sim. Ladies and gentlemen, it took 7 games to find the World Series winner. Jose Lopez versus Adrian Hauser. Can we come back and win 3 straight to win it? Let's find out. Minnesota Twins end up losing. The Phillies have defeated the Twins in the 2020 World Series. Unfortunate, but thank God because they beat us, so I'm a little bit pissed off about that. We'll check out the awards. It's the National League. So G-Man Choi wins World Series MVP. And postseason MVP is Justin Turner, who ended up batting .375, 6 home runs and 10 RBI. So really quickly, let's take a look at the team that end up winning it all. A little bit curious. Okay, bottom right, I see it now. Philadelphia, there we go. So it was the team with James Paxton, Walden, Hauser, Smeltzer, Anderson. If I look at this, I don't say this team wins a World Series. Tim Cate. Look how many of their top players are. Oh, this is starting pitcher. I'm like, what? Why is everyone in the minors? DJ LeMahieu. Okay, never mind. It makes sense. All right. Matt Chapman, Simeon, Canley, Walden, Baez, Benintendi up to an 82 overall. I said we'll keep an eye on him. Conforto IL, not bad. Pretty good team. G-Man Choi, of course, won World Series MVP. So that's going to be that. That team ends up winning the World Series. That was a little bit fun. I do have another video coming up. I might do it today. Maybe I'll record it tomorrow, where I do the same thing, kind of. Not really. What I'm going to do, what I did already is I have a roster that I made. It took me like an hour or two to do. I called up every top prospect on every team and put them in every lineup and in every rotation if they were a starter or reliever. I called up every starter and I wanted to see how it would look like if every top prospect was in the major league. So if you guys want to see that, smash the thumbs up button, subscribe to the channel if you guys are new, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace!